here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks Crochet. And today we are making a very pretty, lacy, summery dress. This is the Celicia Summer Dress, and I have so enjoyed making this. I really wanted to make a lovely and lacy, feminine dress for the summer out of cotton in crochet. So this is what I set out to do, and I have really enjoyed wearing it. I love the result of this dress, and as you can see here, I was having great fun showing it off for you. Now, of course, as usual, I had been in the sea with it, not completely, but my fringe did get wet, but I really enjoyed wearing it that evening. And I do wear it with either a black slip dress underneath, or here today I was wearing my yoga shorts and a vest top, and that was perfect to cover up any holes that I didn't want showing. So let's get started. For my size dress, which is a medium to large, I have used 5 balls of Jamesy Bread. It's pure cotton. It is indeed 100% cotton yarn, and it's a DK yarn. This means it is prescribed for a 4mm hook, but I am, as usual, using my 3.5 because obviously I need to go down half a hook size for my tension. So make sure you also decide which hook you're going to use in relation to your tension, making sure you are still making lovely stitch definitions and the size of the square still is the same as mine. Now this is the color Antique Rose. We have all the colors of this range on our website, so do go and have a look. They have some lovely colors in that range. You will also need scissors and a darning needle, of course, and I have put together temporarily my dress with these clips. Now I have loads of these clips, so I was able to do the whole dress with it, but it does give you an idea of how it's going to look, and of course it's very encouraging if you can put each square on there as you make them. Let's get started on how to make the square, shall we? So let's get started with round 1. We're going to make our slip knot, so make it whichever way you usually make it. Insert your hook, and we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we're going to go back to the first chain, you insert, and we're going to do a slip stitch to make a little circle. There we go. Voila. Now we're going to chain 1, and into the circle we're going to place 7 single crochets. So we're going to go into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. I use American terminology, and this is my single crochet. So that's the 3rd one, the 4th one, 5, 6 and 7. Voila. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we're going to remember this V here, because this is the one that we're going to go under to make our slip stitch. So really we need to make an 8th single crochet, but if we did that and then closed the round, we would have 9 V's going around the outside of our work. So that would be too many. So what we're going to do, instead of doing the 8th single crochet, is you go into the circle, you pull up a loop, then we go into this 7th V that we were remembering from just now. You pull up a loop through the V, there we go, and then you pull this loop through the 2 loops that were already on your hook. And now we have made a single crochet and closed the round at the same time, and we have 8 V's going around the outside of our work. So now to get started on round 2, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. And normally I say that this will be disregarded and is going to count at the end of our round. But in this case, we can't do that. So we're going to just have to work with what we've got at the moment, and we're going to make it count. So we are now going to do 2 treble crochets together, but we are going to place them in with the chain. So the chain is coming out of this stitch here. So this is where we're going to be placing our 2 treble crochets together. So yarn over twice, make a little sort of turning movement to get into that V, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And normally you would be yarn over and pull through 2, but we're not going to do that because we have to finish them together. So we're going to do a second one. So yarn over twice into that same location, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on your hook. There we go. So this is our first little petal made. Now we're going to get started on our repeat for this round. We're going to do 3 chains, so 1, 2 and 3, and then in the next stitch you're going to place 3 treble crochets together. So make sure you establish which one is the next stitch, and that's this V here. So I'm going to yarn over twice into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, then you're going to start your next treble crochet. So yarn over twice, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, stop there, and we do the same thing again. Yarn over twice, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through the 4 loops on your hook. And this is what you're going to repeat all around your work here. So chain 3, yarn over twice into the next stitch for your 3 half finished treble crochets. There we go. I have now collected 4 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through the 4 loops. I will see you at the end of the round. So here we are. I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals. I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots of chain 3s in between. And now, of course, we have to close the round. But we need to be in the middle of our chain 3. So I'm going to chain 1, then I'm going to yarn over this V here. I'm going to go under that one, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on your hook. So essentially I've made a half double crochet, and now I'm in the middle of my chain space there, and that's the ideal location for me to get started on the next round. And now for round 3, we're going to get started with a chain 4. Now this chain 4, the chain 2 here stands for a double crochet, and then this chain 2 stands for the chain space. And now we're going to start our repeat of placing a treble crochet, chain 5 and a treble crochet into the next chain space. So we yarn over twice into the next chain space, we place a treble crochet, there we go, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another treble crochet. So yarn over twice, insert into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to chain 2, and into the next chain space we're going to place a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet. and we're going to chain 2. So this is our repeat. So we start with a large opening here for a corner, and then like a V type thing for the side. So now we're going to, here in the next chain space, make our large treble crochet corner with a treble crochet 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 chains, and another treble crochet, then 2 chains, and then into the next chain space we place a double crochet, 2 chains, a double crochet and a chain 2. There we go. So look at that, I have done 2 corners already, and you can see that our work here is squaring up. And this is how you're going to continue until you have made it all the way around, and we will end the row together, as we will have to do something special at the end. So I will see you when you have made it all the way around, when you're here. So I've just done my large opening here. Now I'm working on my double crochet one here, but of course this is where we started, so we have that chain 2 that counts as our double crochet. So here, to complete that V basically that we're doing here, we just need to do 2 chains, and then now instead of course placing a double crochet there, we are going to go into the second chain and do a slip stitch to close the round. So in this round we have now squared up our work. We have 4 corners, each made up of those 5 chain spaces and then the trebles. And then on the sides we each time have a construction of a V in the middle, and we have in total we have 16 chain spaces going around our work. So for round 4 we're going to get started with chain 2, 1, 2, and this counts as a double crochet. Then around the next chain 2 space we're going to place 2 double crochets. So this is the start of our repeat. So 2 double crochets around the chain 2 space. Voila. Then we're going to place a double crochet on top of the treble, and you could pick up the 2 strands of the V on top of the treble, but if you do that, this might extend. So what I'm going to try and do is pick up the V, but also pick up a strand here. So go down a little bit lower into that treble, and that way you'll have a much more secure anchoring and there won't be any extending of strands. Look at that, see, that's nice and tight. So now that we've done that, we're going to be dealing with the chain 5 space here, and here we're going to place 3 double crochets, 2 chains and 3 double crochets. So let's get started on placing 3 double crochets around the chain 5 space. Then we do 2 chains, 1, 2, and then we turn our work and we place another 3 double crochets around that same chain 5 space, and this has now made a corner. Now we're going to place a double crochet on top of the treble crochet, and again I'm trying to pick up just an extra strand so everything is nice and neat. Then here we have a chain 2 space. We're going to be placing 2 double crochets into that chain 2 space. Here we have a double crochet, so we're going to be placing a double crochet on top of that. And then here we have a chain 2 space. Now in the next row we need an uneven number of double crochets, and if we place 2 double crochets in here we have too many. So I'm going to just place 1 double crochet into this one here, and of course we'll be doing that in each of these locations, and then you are going to place a double crochet on top of the double crochet. There we go, voila. And this is our repeat. Okay, so we start with the 2 double crochets, then 1 on top, 3, 2, 3, 1 on top, 2, 1 on top. Here we've done that 1 double crochet and then the 1 on top. So we're going to repeat that one 4 times, or at least make sure that you have done 4 corners. And then here, when you get here, I will meet you at the end, because of course we did start with a chain 2, so the last part of that repeat will be a little bit different. But yes, this is what you're going to be doing this round. So we have to establish our double crochets. We're making 15 double crochets on each side, and that means we're doing 60 double crochets all around our square. We're not counting the chains. I will see you at the end of the round. So here I am placing my double crochet on top of my double crochet. This is the location where I'm just going to be placing that 1 double crochet, and here of course I have that chain 2, that's going to count as my double crochet located on top of that double crochet there. So I'm just going to close my round by skipping the 2 chains and going under the next V to do a slip stitch and close my round. So that was round 4. Now for round 5, we're going to get started with a chain 3, 1, 2, this stands for a double crochet, 3, this stands for the chain space, and here we're going to now get started with our repeat, and that means we're going to skip 1 stitch and we're going to place a double crochet in the next stitch. There we go. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this in total 3 times, and this should now bring us to placing a double crochet on top of that last double crochet of our row. And now we're going to chain 1 because that's part of our repeat. There we go. And now we're going to create a corner. So into the chain 2 space, we're going to place a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to have to get started again the same way as we finished, because we finished here with a double crochet on top of that last stitch. So here we're going to have to start with a double crochet on top of that first stitch. So let's do that. There we go. And now we're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. And we continue doing this until we reach the end of the side. And in total we're going to repeat that 7 times. This will then bring us to that last double crochet of our side, and then we need to do a chain 1 and a corner. So here we are, I'm at the last stitch of the side. I'm now going to chain 1. Now I'm going to do my corner of 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space and a chain 1. And now I'm going to repeat the same thing again so I can make my boxes on this side. And in fact I'm going to do that along the 4 sides, but of course we started in the middle of a side, so I will show you how to finish that side when you get there. So I have repeated this repeat 3 times. Now we need to complete this piece here, so we're going to do the same thing. We start with a double crochet on top of that first double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that 3 times so that we make it to the middle of the side where we started there. Here of course I've got 1 stitch left which we'll skip. I'm going to do a chain 1, then skip this stitch. Here I'm now going to have to do a slip stitch, so go into the second chain and we do a slip stitch to close the round. There we go. I now have 40 boxes going around the outside of my work, and of course, as you can see, we are still working square, and you just need to go like this to make sure that the corners appear as corners. So now we're going to do round 6. So we're going to get started with a chain 2, 1, 2, and this counts as a double crochet. And now we'll be placing a double crochet around the chain space, and then a double crochet on top of the double crochet. And again, I'm picking up the V and a little strand if I can to make it sturdier. And this is how I'm going to continue, placing 1 double crochet around the chain space and 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet. When you get to the corner, you're going to place 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. There we go. And then we continue with placing our double crochets all along the side. I will see you at the end of the round. So I've made it to the end of my round. I've got here my 2 chains, which I'm going to skip. I'm going to go under the V there and use that one to do my slip stitch under and close the round. There we go. So this square is 14 by 14 centimeters, or 5 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4 of an inch. And now we have made this square up until round 6. So I'm now going to cut off my yarn, and really this is the end of the square. Round 7 is the joining round, and I'm going to do that once I've done all my squares and I have an idea of how big my dress is going to be. To create our dress, we will need 20 squares. And there are things we can do now to make the dress smaller or larger. So if you wanted to make the dress smaller, you're going to have to join with, for example, an inner loop single crochet. This will make that the squares are like this together. This will create a smaller dress. If you make the join larger, it will make a slightly larger dress. If you were to do another round of double crochets, then join, whichever way you prefer, this way or the one that I'm going to be using, that will make your dress even larger. So you just need to make sure that you do what I have done as well. Put it together using those clips, seeing how big it is. Make sure you try it onto a dress that you already wear and see what size it's going to be. Now, to join these squares, we are going to work according to a diagram. So in the pattern there is a diagram, and I have indicated the order of the squares in which you will have to join them. So now we're going to do round 7. Round 7 is the round which we use to join. And I'm going to start again with a new piece of yarn because I think it is better to start in a corner location. So we're going to get started with doing a slip knot. Insert your hook and reduce the loop. So we're going to get started in the corner with a treble crochet. So you're going to yarn over twice, go into the corner chain space, and you're going to do a treble crochet. There we go. And now we're going to do a chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then you do another treble crochet into that chain space. So that means we have to yarn over twice. There we go. Voila, that's our corner done. Now we do chain 2, you skip 2, and you do a single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 2, skip 2, into the third stitch you're going to do a double crochet, chain 2 and double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 into the next stitch for a single crochet, chain 2, skip 2 into the next stitch for a double crochet, 2 chains and a double crochet. See, this is what we are creating. So we keep doing the same thing, chain 2, skip 2, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 and a single crochet in the next stitch, and then here we have 2 stitches to skip, just like we did here in fact. So we're going to chain 2, then we're going to do a treble crochet into the corner chain space, and so here this of course is where our repeat starts again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 chains and another treble crochet in that same chain space. So you're now going to repeat making these small loops all along this side as well, and of course this side and this side. I will meet you at the end of the round. So I have made it to the end of my round. I've done my last chain 2. Here is that standing treble crochet that we started with. I am just going to try and go under the V here and do a slip stitch. Just whichever way you can get into there is fine, just to close the round. There we go. Voila. So this is what you do with your first square. And now of course we're going to connect a second square on top of this. Now once I have explained how to do the connections, you'll be doing that all the time wherever your squares meet each other. So let's get started on a second square. There we go. So I'm going to start in a corner, and as I can see from the diagram, these 2 squares will just meet on one side. So I'm going to start here, do one side, then I'll be back to show you how to do the connection, and then I'll finish my round. So let's get started. So this is my chain 2. Here I am now doing my treble crochet for my corner. I'm going to do 1, 2 chains, then I'm going to go into this one here, pick it up, and I'm going to, this is always awkward, do the chain around that chain there, and then do another 2 chains, 1, 2. So this has given me 5 chains, but I have connected it to the previous square. Then you're going to go into the chain space with your treble crochet. Voila. Now we're going to do a chain 2, skip 2, single crochet in the third one, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1. Now let's lay it all down a little bit so I can show you. Now we're on this level here, so we've chained 1, we're going to go into the opposite construction there to do our slip stitch, chain 1 again, and we place another double crochet into that same location. So each time we do, let me show you, each time we do the chain 2, or now in fact we're doing a chain 1 connecting and then another chain 1, we are going to connect these locations. And of course the chain 5s, we connect those as well. So let me continue so I can show you. So now here I have to do the chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2 and single crochet in the third, chain 2, start your double crochet construction, chain 1, go over to the previous square into that chain 2 space there, do a slip stitch, chain 1 and a double crochet onto the current square. So as you can see, this chain is going to add quite a bit of width to our dress because we are creating quite a wide join here. So I'm going to continue 1, 2, skip 2, single crochet, 1, 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, and now we go to the other side to connect, chain 1, and we do a double crochet, chain 2, there we go, single crochet, chain 2, and now we do a treble crochet because we have arrived at the corner, 1, 2 chains, we go and we find the corner here, go in it, do a slip stitch around it, chain 2, and we place a treble crochet into the corner. And then you continue the round, doing your round 7 as we are used to. So now, as you can see, we have joined 2 squares together on one side. It is quite a wide join, so make sure you take this into account. So I have now laid out my squares the same way as the diagram, and I'm going to leave it like this. Hopefully I can just work my way through it. It's on a white sheet on the floor. So there is square 1 and 2. Now I'm going to add 3 and 4, and then I'm going to work my way along the diagram as I have indicated in the pattern. This is square 19 and 20, so we'll deal with those later on. But first of all, we're going to make a flat piece of fabric. Now at one point you will be in a situation like this where you're going to have to attach one side, then do a corner here, and then do the other side. And to be honest, it is the same. I'm just going to show you how to go about doing this here. I mean, you just need to try and go into there to make a slip stitch and then to attach your corner. So get started and do your side as usual. Okay, so here I've done half a corner. And now, of course, I have this to deal with, and I'm just going to go into the middle there, do a slip stitch, and keep it nice and tight. Then do the rest of my corner. Go back to my corner on the current square with a treble crochet, chain 2, and now I'm going to start working along this side here, and it's exactly the same really as before, because obviously that's what we're doing. Look at that, we're making this join and we're going to be doing that here as well. And this way you have now gone around these 2 sides, and of course we'll finish the other sides in a moment. So then I wrapped the piece of fabric around Charlotte, and as you can see, it fitted her very nicely. And here are the locations where those 2 last squares need to go. So that's what I'm going to show you now, how to add those. Okay, so I've got my piece of fabric on the table at the moment, and I have folded it double. So this is that side where the two squares are still missing. The inside is of course the bad side, the good sides are on the outside. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So this is my one side, and then this is the top here, and that's the base, and then this is the other side. So now we have these two squares left, which we have to position into here. So now I've got this part here, so I'm going to get started with attaching my square on these two sides here, making sure of course it's got the good side on the top, and then in a moment we'll turn it all around so that when I start doing this side I'm going to be attaching it to here, and then this side is going to be attached to here. So here we go. So I'm going to start with a double yarn over and do half a corner, as you have been used to for immediately starting to connect. So here we have this side here, we are going to go into this corner and do a slip stitch and connect this side of the square to there. So now I'm at the corner here, so I'm doing my treble crochet, chain 2, and then here you're going to have to find the middle of that location, which is about there. So I'm going to go in and do a slip stitch as tight as I possibly can around the middle of that location, and then do 2 more chains. There we go. So voila. And then another treble. Now we have turned the corner, and we're going to get started on joining the other side there. Voila, so there we are. So we've done this side. Now we're doing this side. So now I'm here again doing a corner, so I've done a treble crochet, chain 2, I'm going to go into this corner here to do my connection there. Voila. And now we're going to have to connect these two sides to this here. So this will be folded over like so. So now we continue our journey along this square, and we're going along this side here. So I just connected into here, but I also need to connect into this one here. So I'm going to do that with a slip stitch. There we go. And now I'm going to do my 2 chains, 1, 2, and go back to my location to finish my corner to do that treble crochet. There we go. And now we're going to continue our usual things, but of course again we are going to be connecting the side. So where is my, there we go, look, voila. So here we are in a situation again where we already have 3 squares meeting, and so we're going to go around here to place our slip stitch and keep everything nice and tight when you do this. So I'm pulling it really well, holding it into place, making sure my hook is going to bring up that yarn, there we go, and tighten it really well. Make sure that it is sort of in the middle of everything. That's good. And then off we go again here and finishing the corner. Voila, There we go. We have now 4 squares attached in that location. And now we're going to continue down this last side here. And of course, yes, this will mean we have now closed up the dress and it's turned into a tube. So let's continue. So I now have gone all the way around, attaching this square onto 4 sides, but we are now having a situation here which we need to sort out. So I'm going to finish my round as usual. So I'm going to go into this location here to do a slip stitch to close my round. So that's this round finished, but what we haven't connected is this corner here. And of course that corner should have been connected in here, but of course it wasn't there earlier because we didn't have a circular piece of fabric yet. So what are we going to do? We'll just do some slip stitches to make sure we are in that location and then do another slip stitch to connect it. So we're going to go into this chain 2 here and travel to that middle, to that center location between those 2 corners. So let's say in there, voila, see? So I'm now in between those 2 corners from these 2 squares, but this square needs to be attached there as well with its corner. So I'm going to go and do a slip stitch into that corner there, voila. And just for good measure, we might just make sure that we have a good length of yarn and a long length to sew in to make these joins extra secure. So we can cut this off, and now you're going to do the same thing for the second one. So we're going to get started with a slip knot on your hook. Go around the tip of the square and do a single crochet, just so that you are connected. Then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, then you do a double crochet into that same location here, into the tip of the square, voila, and that is our first link. Now we're going to chain 2, yarn over, ready for a double crochet, and we're going to go into that first link. That's where you place your double crochet, voila, 1, 2 chains and a double crochet in that previous link. And this is what you are going to keep on doing for the amount of links that you think you're going to need. So I'm going to make 13 links. So I will see you when I have my 13 links. So I now have my 13 links. Now I'm going to go to the other side of my dress, so to the square on the back. I'm going to go around this chain space here, and I'm going to place a single crochet. Now I'm going to place another single crochet, so you're opening your last link, go in it and go around the chain space as well there and do another single crochet, just so that you have 2 stitches going around this chain space. So 2 stitches to attach your strap. Then you're going to take everything and look at it like this, and you're going to start working along the side of your link where you have your double crochets, and into the links here, into the openings here, you're going to do 2 single crochets around the body of the double crochets. So into each link you're going to place 2 single crochets. Then when you get to the other side and you're back where you started here, you're going to place single crochets around this area here. So try and place 2 single crochets around there. this will help you turn to go and work on the other side of your strap, working 2 single crochets on the side of the links where you have your chains. There we go, see? And we have turned and we are now working on the other side. Voila, so we are now on the other side of the dress, so on the back. And here we did place a single crochet around there, so I'm going to try and do one more here so that I have 2 single crochets going around the strap there and the chain space. Now we are going to do a turn again, so let's see if we can turn the dress around, and we're going to, let's see where we are just to make sure. There we go. So this was the first single crochet. I'm going to do a slip stitch in there, sort of finishing our round, and now we're going to go and find the next stitch in there and do a slip stitch, then into the next single crochet and a slip stitch. This will give us another round of embellishment almost for our strap, but also this will reinforce the strap with another round of slip stitches. You know how tight they can be, so make sure you do them nice and tight, laying on the surface of your strap, but this will help prevent the strap from stretching. See, look. So here we have a little bit of stretch, here we have no stretch. So now we'll place a slip stitch under each V of the single crochets that we have done, and I will see you at the end of the round. So I have made it all the way around, and here I am just going to find a place where I can go under to do a slip stitch, and any place is fine really, just so that you can finish off your round. There we go. So now we can cut off the yarn. Don't cut it off too short, because you could use this end here just to sew into here, just to make sure you reinforce a little bit more here as well. And you can do the same on this side, but of course don't do that until you have tried on the dress again, or until the recipient has tried on the dress again and you are sure that these straps are the ones that you need. So of course goes without saying that you'll have to do your second strap as well. I have done my second strap, and there we go. I'm going to try on the dress again and see what it looks like. Okay, so now that we have finished the straps, we're going to look at how long the dress is, and is it long enough for you or for the recipient. Now, personally for me, this dress was not long enough. Okay, so I decided to make 4 more squares and add them to the base of my dress, and this gave me just that length more that I needed to just, you know, make the dress a little bit more wearable for me. The other way that you can increase the length of the dress is by making a fringe. And although you might think the fringe looks quite sparse, it does work and it does give me extra length. Now, there are certain locations that you can choose to put your fringe, so be mindful where you're going to put them, because you've got a lot of holes. If you put them in every hole that you see, you'll be putting a lot of fringe. So I have done the fringe into the V's on the sides of the squares. Then at the tip here, I did do 3 in a row and then back into the V's. And then here on the tips here, I did 1 in the middle and then 1 on either side. So that has bulked up the fringe a little bit, but it's not too much. So the fringe consists of 4 strands. I have cut them to a length of 33 centimeters or 13 inches. Then you fold it in 2, like so. You take a bigger hook. I always like to use a larger hook because it just makes things easier. You go into the location from below to above where you want to put this fringe. You hook it behind your hook, you bring it through, put your fingers into the loop so you don't lose it, and then bring the ends through your loop, pulling it, and you have attached your fringe. Make sure you do them all the same way, so hook from underneath to above, so that these strands of yarn all lie at the same side, because of course this is the front, this will be the back of the look of the fringe. Okay, and I have held the dress up, or I've put it on Charlotte, and I looked at the edges of the fringe. Now sometimes you will have one little strand, for example, that peeks out a little bit, and I have cut that off, but other than that I did not cut any off the fringe, so my fringe does go in a zigzag as well. Now I have to admit I do really like this dress and I like wearing it. I do, however, wear a black dress underneath. So I have a black dress or a black top and my yoga shorts that I wear underneath, which I am wearing here, and that made it really comfortable to wear this dress, and you have a really pretty dress on, but you're not worried about, you know, holes in the fabric or people seeing things that they shouldn't be seeing. So really there is a black layer underneath, and I really like how this looks. As you can see, I was really having fun with the sea as usual, and I hope you have had fun with this tutorial as well. I hope you found it interesting, I hope you learned something, and I hope you will make the dress. The yarn for this dress is available on our website, as well as a written pattern. The Celicia Summer Dress pattern contains the diagram for the squares, as well as more measurements and different sizing. If you are making the Celicia dress, please do show us in the Facebook group, because we all would love to see. If you like this tutorial, please consider subscribing to the channel and leave me a thumbs up for the video. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!